Well, we can go ahead and proceed with our application of treatment with our pregnant client or patient in this way. In this case, I can use the armrest as I may wish to in a whole variety of different ways. We can have the arms alongside, and these armrests are really nice. They afford a variety of different positioning possibilities when you're working with your clients and patients. I think you'll find they will enjoy it very much, and you will enjoy the variety of different enhancements in terms of positioning the limb, the arm, in ways that favor different muscle groups in different positions. The armrest not only can be used alongside, but we can have the arm forward too. And so we can just position this in a way that we're employing the principle of positional release. This is the principle that says when you shorten a muscle in a relaxed state, there's a feedback signal to the brain that allows a spontaneous release. And so you can utilize these various adjusters, armrests, to idealize the positioning to gain that relief of a release simply via positioning. And of course, it really enhances the hands-on work because it's so much easier and effective to work a muscle when it's shortened and relaxed. So now, Lisa, I'm going to have you in a lateral posture. Lisa, when you're positioning yourself on the side, we're using the same 4 body cushion component parts. And to afford that placement for the shoulder, what I'm going to do is remove the face support, slide the pelvic and chest parts up to the head end of the table so that the head end of the chest support is even with the head end of the table. And I'm going to separate the pelvic from the chest support, allowing enough space here for your shoulder. Now the reason we're on the left side is so that the fetus is not applying any pressure to the vena cava, okay? But the literature now states that it's really preferable to be left or right as compared to face up. Probably don't want to do that. Not really recommended anymore. And the left lateral is a really nice way to go if, in fact, you are a while face down, as you were, and if you experience any pressure or discomfort at all for any reason, you can just simply get out of that and go into a left lateral posture. That's one of the beauties of this tool. It affords you a variety of different positioning possibilities. Now, to make sure that you have enough support for the upper thoracic spine, we're going to introduce the use of 2 of these extenders. These are principally designed to lengthen the system for the longer torso. But in this case, using it lateral, we're going to afford support for the upper thoracic spine. Otherwise, this area wouldn't be supported. So now that we have it all ready for you, I'm going to have you get up on the table and just lower yourself down so your left shoulder is between these 2 supporting parts. There you are. Now the crescent, normally under her face, is going to support in a way that affords some support for the cervical spine. And I know it feels a little bit, it'll just kind of relax. Mm-hmm. Does it feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. The thing I'm using here are these elastic fitted washable covers. These are body cushion covers, and I've put a cover over each of the halves of the split leg support so that I can use the body cushion in a way that's very comfortable. Her skin won't be contacting the vinyl. And in this way, with the leg support between the knees, it balances the departure of the lower extremities from the pelvis. Does it feel good?
It feels very comfortable. It takes a lot of the pressure off of my shoulder that I get usually during the night laying on the side. Usually, turn several times to get the pressure off, and there's no pressure.
That's great. Now, the large wedges that we use to elevate, in part when you were face down, can be added, and I can add a little more support and stability. So if I'm working, doing some massage to your back, you have a little bit more support. Nice also to afford the use of a pillow. She can have her arm just draped over a pillow. But you'll find adding this wedge here will afford a little more support that way. Also, putting the hips in a 90, knees in a 90. I don't want to induce too much pressure there, but that will help to stabilize any kind of change in position when the force is applied to the posterior aspect. Another possibility simply, Lisa, I'm going to have your lower leg straight and your upper leg forward. How's that feel?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels very comfortable and very secure.
Okay. Now we also noticed that very typical with females is that the pelvis structure is wider than the rib cage. And so what happens is we get a little bit of lateral flexion in the lumbar spine. To afford support and compensate for the lateral flexion in the lumbar spine, I'm going to use the long rectangle. There are two of these, and they're of a lighter density. And this is a really good adjuster for this purpose. I'm going to go underneath the lower sloping portion of the pelvic support so that that additional support is principally under and between the rim of the ilium and the lower ribs. To afford a little more support from the posterior aspect, I can add another large wedge, and that simply is placed underneath to afford more stability and afford her more upright positioning. And Lisa, as I indicated before, it's really nice to have a pillow. And a nice big fluffy pillow or a long pillow folded in half will really nicely support the arm. How's that feel?
Feels very comfortable. This takes all the pressure off my shoulder that before sleeping, I'd have to roll over several times to relieve the pressure to get comfortable again. And this, there's no pressure to move from.
Well, that's great. Good feedback. Thank you.